All right, so after a long hiatus, the 1990 World Series is ready to get back on track. We're on game 6, and the Reds lead this series 3-2. It's been kind of a back and forth series. So this is obviously some more uncharted territory because this was a 4-game sweep by the Reds. So there was no game 6, but there is one here. And let's go ahead and look at the lineups for the A's. Of course, Rickey Henderson leading off in left field. Lansford at third. Canseco's in right. Henderson is in center. Dave Henderson in center field. McGuire's at first. Steinbach catching. Randolph at second. Gallegos at short. And Mike Moore will be pitching for the A's, a right-hander. For the Reds, leading off, Barry Larkin at shortstop. Hatcher, center field. O'Neill in right field. Davis in left. Morris, first base. Sabo at third. Oliver catching. Duncan's at second. And Tom Browning, the big left-hander on the mound. So a little tougher to steal on for Rickey if he does get on. Riverfront Stadium is where we are, and we're ready to go. Rickey Henderson, and we get a 4.56. So we take the 4.5. 45 is a 21 if he's facing a lefty, and he is. 45 here is a 17, but since he is facing a left-hander, we'll take the 21. But that is going to be a fly to left field on a 6, but it's blank, so we don't need to check any fielding. It's just a fly out to left. So it brings up Carney Lansford, a 2.34. So a 23 is an 11. 23 is a 17 if men are on base, and they're not men on base. So we'll take the 11. It's going to be a ground out to third. 2 up, 2 down. Here's Jose Canseco, 12. 12's a 4 and a 9, so a 4 is a strikeout. Canseco down on strikes, 1, 2, 3 inning. We go to the bottom of the first, no score. And there's Barry Larkin, a 1, 2, 3. So a 12 is a 10 and a 10, and so a 10 either way. It's going to be a 6-3 ground out, though. One away, here's Billy Hatcher. 25s. 25 is a 14. 25 is a 13 if he's right-handed. And he is right-handed, so we'll take the 13. It's going to be a single to left field. So Billy Hatcher singles. Did have 30 stolen bases. Let's go one batter, though. Let's go let Paul O'Neill hit. He is a left-hander, so 1-3 is a 13. 1-3 is a 5 if he's tired. He's not tired, so it's not a factor. So we'll take the 13 with the runner on first this time. And it's a short fly to left field. And the runner will have to hold. I think Billy Hatcher's going to take off, though. He is a 6 on his SB stolen base ratings, a 6. Pickoff move is Mike Moore is a +1. So that's going to make him a 7, which is as high as you can get. The catcher, Steinbach, is a 53. So a 7 on a 53 will come down here. And we'll look and we'll roll. One die, it's a 4. So he gets a good jump. So a good jump, or a good lead, is what it is. Good lead. Steal a second. And we'll need to roll and see if, trying to remember here, so a 23, or actually I need to roll all 3, my bad. So the high die is a 4, 6, 4. So we match the second number. So stealing second and matching the second number with a good lead, he is safe. Stolen base for Billy Hatcher. So Eric Davis now up with Hatcher at second. And we get a 44, which is a 5. And a 44 is 16. If he's tired, he's not. It's going to be a walk. 5 is a walk. First and second, 2 down. Here's Hal Morris. Dangerous hitter. 340 hitter. 24 is a 10. If their double plays in effect. And 24 is a 17. Now, there are 2 outs. So I need to check on that. Okay, it doesn't matter. It just says if first base is occupied, it does take effect. So that means it would be a double play, but it's going to be just a ground out to short is what we're going to call it. So they don't need to turn 2. You could say, 6-4. But so nothing doing for the Reds. Top of the second, no score. Dave Henderson, 34. 34 is a 19, a 10. Double play is not in effect, so 19 is a fly out to left field. Here's Big Mac. Whoa. 23, 17. 17 either way, so it's a short fly to center. Fly out. 2 down. Steinbach, a 12 is a 13. And a 12 is a 9, but he is facing a lefty, so it'll be a 13. That'll be a single. Lucky 13 is a single. Brings up Willie Randolph with 2 down. Steinbach at first. And one trying to escape there. 12. 12 is a 13 for Randolph if he's facing a lefty, and he is. Runner on first, 13, though, is a fly to left field. Fly out to left. So, still no score. Bottom of 2, here's Chris Sabo. 22 is a 13L, but he's not facing a lefty. So, an 18 is what we're going to look at. Fly to right field. Caught by Canseco. One out. Here's Oliver. And Oliver gets a 22, a 0, so we'll take the 4, and that makes it an 0-4. And that's a 1W, meaning we're going to roll again. Look on Oliver's card at the Wild Plays chart. With bases empty, when we look at the 33 is a 4. Hit by pitch, batter injured. Hit by pitch. Doesn't say, well, injuries. Referred to as injury rating. Okay. Third die is a 3, the high one. His injury rating is what? A 5. Injury's a 5. Third die is a 3. And so we have a 3 there. If the number on the third die does not match the player's injury rating, okay, it doesn't. He's just shaken up and is removed from the game. If it does match, okay. Well, it didn't match, so he's just shaken up, so he has to be removed from the game. So Joe Oliver out of the game. That brings in Jeff Reed Oliver did reach on a hit by pitch. But it is going to be Jeff Reed. He'll be running. And he will take over behind the plate. And he's a lefty. All right, so Duncan up with one out. Oliver's at first. Not Oliver, it's Reed at first. Just went through that hubbaloo. 14 is a 9. 14 is a 2. Men on base, and there are, so it's going to be a 2. Runner on first. So it's a PCP. It's a foul out to the catcher, and it is a foul out to the catcher because the red die does not, the high die does not match it was a 5, so we had a 6 here, so it's a foul out to the catcher. Brings up the pitcher, Browning, and we get a 13. 13's a 13. And 13's a 5, but he's not tired. So 13, runner on first. And it's a fly out to left field, but it is a 5. We'll need to check the left fielder because of the 4 here. And Henderson's a 5-4-3. And we match his second number, which is good enough. He'll make the catch. Retire the side. We'll go to the third. Still no score. Mike Gallego, 34, 17, and a 10, double play not in effect. So 17, fly to center. One away, brings up the pitcher, Mike Moore. 35, that was a 5. 35 is a 10. 25 men on base, there's not. So it's a ground out to short, and there is 5. 5 matches the 5. So we'll look at the 5 here, which is a fielding check on the shortstop, Barry Larkin. And he's a 6-4, so he's going to make the play because 4 is the high die. And I wrote 4 because I just said 4. But it's a ground out to short. Ricky Henderson, a 14. 14's a 7. 14's a 4. Or 14's a 14 if he's facing a right-hander, and he is. So we'll take the 14, and it's a short fly to center on a 4, but this is blank, so we don't need to check the ballpark or the fielder. It is a fly out to center. Ricky 0 for 2. Bottom of 3, Barry Larkin, top of the order, and timeout. All right, had to chase another D6 down. There it is. And it's a 1-2, 12. 12's a 10. If bases are empty, 12's a 10 either way. It's a ground out to short. One out. Here's Billy Hatcher. 12 is a 10. 12's a 10, so it's a ground out to short. 2 down, Paul O'Neill. 34 is an 18. 14, we'll take the 14. And it's a fly to center on a 4. We'll need to check the center fielder. Dave Henderson is a 63. E2. 4 is the high die. Doesn't match his first or second number. So we'll need to go here. And we'll need to look at, it was a SF, short fly. So SF, single. If no numbers match, it is a single. So Paul O'Neill drops one in front of Dave Henderson. Brings up Eric Davis. 14 is an 11. 14 is a 2 if men are on base, and there are. And it's going to be a foul out to the catcher, though. So that does it for the third. Still no score. We go to the top of the fourth. All right, Lansford leading off. Still no score. 22, 10. 22's a 19. We'll take that 10. It's a ground out to short. We know that one. Canseco. 12 is a 4 and a 9. So that's going to be a strikeout. Canseco down again on strikes. Dave Henderson. 15 is a 24. And he is facing a lefty. So 24 is a home run for Dave Henderson. Home run to right field. And there is no other check involved. It is gone. A solo shot for Dave Henderson. On the 24. It was a 15. 24 versus a lefty. Yep. So 1-0 Oakland. Mark McGwire, a 22's a 12. 22's a 19. We'll take that 12. It's a ground out to first. But the A's on the board, 1-0. Bottom of 4, here's Hal Morris. 25. It's 14. 25's a 13. If he's right-handed, he's not. So we'll take the 14. It's a fly to center. 1 away. Here's Sabo. Sabo with a 15, 14, and a 15. He's not facing a lefty, though, so 15's a 19. We'll take the 19, fly out to left. 2 down. New catcher Jeff Reed, 24. 0. 0-6 is a 1. We'll roll again and look on his card. That's a 12. 12 is a 15, and you disregard any letters. 15 is a single to center field. Let me double check that. I believe that's correct. Jeff Reed with a single. 250 hitter. So 2 down. Reed at first. Here's Duncan. 12 is a 15. 12 is a 10. We're going to take that 10. Runner on first is a 6'4" fielder's choice. I just like to call it a 6'3". So that ends the 4th inning, top of the 5th, 1-0 Oakland. Steinbach, 15 is a 15. And the B means either one, left or right. We'll take the 15, single to center field for Terry Steinbach. He is 2 for 2. Brings up Willie Randolph. 12 is a 13 versus a lefty. 12's a 9. It is a 13, so he is a lefty, I mean. Runner on first, though, is a sac fly or short fly to left field. Runner has to hold. Gallego. 25. 25 is a 14. 25 is a 5. If he's tired, he's not. So 14, runner on first, single to left field. Steinbach's only going to go to second on that. Brings up the pitcher spot. Moore. 16 is a 5. Oh boy. And 16 is a 20, so he's going to walk the pitcher, Mike Moore. Not what you want to do, Tom Browning. Bases loaded. Ricky Henderson up, 1 out. This is a predicament, a little bit of a predicament here. Timeout. All right, the Reds are going to go to a new pitcher. It's going to be Tim Layana, or Layana. I don't want to do a double switch. Pitcher spot is due up next, but I'm not going to take Duncan out. He's a 300 hitter. You can't take the catcher out because we're already on the backup catcher. So we're just going to see if we can finish this inning out. Go from there. Ricky Henderson, bases loaded. 44. 44 is a 5. 44 is a 0 on Layana, though. And a 5 is going to be a 4. That's going to be a strikeout. 4 is a strikeout. So a huge strikeout of Ricky Henderson by Layana. That 0 is huge, man. 2 away, Carney Lansford. Oh, he gets a big roll. 45. It's a 14. 45 is a 12, but we're going to take that 14 because there's a B next to it. Bases loaded, 14. Single. Runners advance 1 base. Single to left field. So Carney Lansford does come through. And we still have bases loaded for Canseco. It's an RBI for Lansford. Not out of the woods yet. 16. 16's a 24. 16's a 10, but that B means we're going to use the 16. Bases loaded. Single to right field. Base. Runners advance 1 base. Canseco comes through. Could try to score, but Moore's on second. He's not gonna try to score. So bases loaded still. Dave Henderson. 13 is a 15. 13 is a 13. If they're empty, they're not. So it's a 15. And it's a fly out to right field. So thank goodness. Could have been a lot worse. 2 runs. Canseco did get an RBI. That was actually, 2 runs. 3-0 Oakland, bottom of the 5th. And we'll have a pinch hitter, Todd Benzinger. For the Reds, switch hitter facing Mike Moore. 33 is a 4. 33 is a 0. We're going to take Moore, and a 6 is a 5. So instead of a strikeout, which is a 4, it goes the opposite direction here and turns into a walk. A 0 and a 6 is a 5. 5 is a walk. So it goes totally the opposite way for Mike Moore. Brings up Larkin. Hitting away. 22-10. Double play is in order. Oh, so it's going to be double play. Runner on first. So it is a 6-4-3 double play. Okay, so that is what it is. I thought about hitting and running, but didn't do it. 44 for Hatcher, 17. 44 is a 16. If he's tired, he's not. 17. Short fly to left on a 5. So we're going to have to check the left fielder, Henderson. And 5 matches his high die, so he'll make that catch easily. And we go to the 6th. Red still trailing 3-0. Now they're going to have to go to another pitcher. Who's that going to be? How about Scott Scudder? We're still a little early in the ball game to be going to the big guns. Scott Scudder. He's coming in right there. McGuire leading off. A 12 is a 4. 10, so struck him out. There's Steinbach. 34. 19. 34 is a 0, and then we add the 5 to it, so a 1. So we'll re-roll again. We'll look on Scudder's card at the 14. And we disregard letters. We don't compare. When this situation happens, you don't compare. You just go straight off the whichever card produced the 1. So a 14 is a 13. 13 is a single. Looking at bases empty. Single left field for Steinbach, and the Steinbach is 3 for 3 today. So Willie Randolph, 23, 7. 23 is a 9, D. And the double play is in effect. And we got a 6, so meaning, all right, so since it's a 9, where's 9D, so it's a 4-6-3 double play, but since we have a 6 here, we need to check the fielding because we have a 3 here, so it's a fielding check on the second baseman, which is Duncan, a 53, E4, and we match the 5, so he does turn the double play. 4-6-3. And we go to the bottom of the 6th, 3-0 Oakland. Paul O'Neill leading off. 13 is a 13. 13 is a 5. If he's tired, he's not. So single for O'Neill. 2 for 3 day for him. Here's Eric Davis. 16 is a 14. 16 is a 9. 14B, though. We'll take the 14. Runner on first. Single to left field. Here come the Reds. First and second, nobody out. Hal Morris. And I think they're going to look to their bullpen. Timeout. All right, Kurt Young is going to come in. So Moore goes 5 innings. Does not record an out here in the 6th. Kurt Young on. He's a lefty. Facing the left-hander, Hal Morris. Good hitter, 340. So a 12 is a 15. If he's facing a righty, he's not. 12's a 9, so we'll take the 9. Runners on first and second. It's a 6-4 fielder's choice. So they get Davis at second. First and third, 1 out, Chris Sabo. I think they're going to leave Young in there. 34, 19. 34 is a 5. He's going to walk Sabo. And the Reds have bases loaded and 1 out. Brings up Jeff Reed. It's a lefty-lefty matchup. Reed, not the best hitter. 12 is a 15 if he's facing a lefty, and he is. So it's a 15 bases loaded. It's a short fly to right field. Runners cannot advance. No advancement. It's too short. So 2 down brings up Mariano Duncan, a left or switch hitter. So Young will stay in. 45, 24 if he's facing a lefty. He is. So 24, bases loaded, could be true. Oh my goodness. Mariano Duncan hits one out of here. I'm going to bring this into play here. 24, bases loaded. That's a home run for Mariano Duncan. Grand slam. And the Reds take the lead 4-3 on the grand slam by Duncan. Unbelievable. How many home runs did he hit? 10 home runs on the year. But he gets a grand salami here. Puts the Reds in front. The A's are in shock. That brings up the pitcher spot. Let's take a timeout. All right, so a couple changes. It's going to be Glenn Braggs coming up for the Reds. Todd Burns pitching for the A's. And bases are clear, though. Here's Glenn Braggs, 25. 25 is a 14. 25 is a 5. If he's tired, he's not. So 14 is a fly out to center field. About 4 runs on the 4-run grand slam. That's what grand slams are, 4 runs. So grand slam by Mariano Duncan puts the Reds in front 4-3. We go to the top of the 7th inning. And the Reds' game plan is going to have to take shape here. Timeout. All right, so Jack Armstrong on for the Reds. My score sheet is, for some reason, out of view there. There we go. Gallego leading off. Top of the 7th. 33. 33 is a 4. 33 is a 5 if he's tired. Nope, struck him out. And that's what you should do to Mike Gallego. It's going to bring up a pinch hitter. Willie McGee. Switch hitter. So 34-17, 34-0 on a 5 is a 2. And that's going to be a foul out to first. So 2 down. Ricky Henderson. And 11 is a 0. That makes it a 0-5 as a 4, and that's a strikeout. Tough day for Ricky, 0 for 4. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. And the A's are going to look to their bullpen, obviously. It's going to be got the top of the order coming up. Let's go with Gene Nelson. Let's see. I didn't put my pitcher marker in there. Barry Larkin. 23-19. 23 is a 10, so 19 is a short fly to left on a 5, and it is a fielding check on the left fielder. Ricky Henderson. And a 6 is the high die. Doesn't match either one. So we'll come over here and look under 4 under SF, and it's going to be an error. Error on Ricky. So his woes continue, not only at the plate, but in the field. And brings up Billy Hatcher. He's going to hit and run. So 23, we first get the number. 19, 10D, which the double play is in effect. You check that, hit and run. Double play, first is occupied and no bunt, hit and run's on. Well, the hit and run is on. So, we look at the 10, or no, we don't. We look at the 19, which is a short fly to left. Or actually, we look on here, hit and run 19, center field. So center fielder is Dave Henderson. And we'll roll again and check his fielding rating. We get a 3, matches his second number. So we'll come down here. Under 19, it is a fly out to center. And Larkin retreats. Paul O'Neill, 45, 22. He is facing a right-hander. So we'll look at the 22 with runner on first. And 22 is a home run for Paul O'Neill. Hits one out of here to left field. So the error compounds things. It's a 2-run home run for Paul O'Neill. And that makes it 6-3 now, Reds. Bases clear. 23, 17, 23, 10, not in effect. So it's a fly out to center field for Eric Davis. 2 down. Hal Morris, 14, 7, 14, 5, but we're going to take the 7 because he's not tired. So he lines out to short. But 2 more runs on a 2-run shot by Paul O'Neill. We'll go to the 8th inning. And it's going to be Rob Dibble. Rob Dibble on now for the 8th. Carney Lansford. 2, 3, 4 hitters. 25's a 14. 25's a 5. Hey, he's going to walk him. 5 is a walk. Brings up Canseco. 35 is a 17. 35 is a 10 if a double play is in effect, and it is. So it will be a double play, 6-4-3. Canseco hits into it. 2 down, Dave Henderson. 22. 17, 22 is a 6. 6 is what it's going to be. It's going to be a ground out to the pitcher, Rob Dibble. So that 10D there came up huge on Dibble's card. The A's are going to bring in Eckersley. Got to keep things where they are. And I put the pitcher marker down there, but it should be up there. But it is going to be a pitcher marker anyway because Eckersley's coming in. Bottom of the 8th inning, Sabo. 15, 14 if he's facing a lefty, he's not. So 17, fly to center. Caught by Dave Henderson. Jeff Reed, a 14's a 7. 14's a 21 if he's tired, he's not. Lines out too short on a 6. It's a 1, so we're going to check the ballpark card and a line out on a 1. Base is empty. Is a line out. So 2 down. Mariano Duncan, the man of this game. 34 is an 18. 34 and 19 if men are on base. There's not. Short fly to right field, caught by Canseco. We'll go to the ninth inning. It's going to be Randy Myers now, the closer. Although, nothing but right-handers coming up. But he is the closer. They're going to go with him. They've trusted him all year. There's McGuire, 33. There's a 4. 22 if he's tired. 4 is going to take precedence, and he strikes him out. Steinbach with a nice 3-for-3 day going. 23, 11. 23's a 4, struck him out. Can he strike out the game and win the World Series for the Reds? Willie Randolph, a 34. 34 is a 19. 34 is a 9. Double plays not in effect. So 19. Short fly to left field on a 5. But it's gonna be a ballpark check because it's a 2. A short fly. So the second column is what we're going to look at on an SF, and it is a fly out. And that was to left field. Yes. That is the ball game. The Reds storm the field. The fans are going nuts. It's in Cincinnati. And they win the World Series 4-2. I'm so used to using different score sheets, I have to adjust myself all the time. But a 6-3 Reds victory here and a World Series victory. And I'm not sure who the World Series MVP would be. Let's just have a real quick look here. Let's see. My first thought's Mariano Duncan. He had a single and triple in one game. Grand salami here. But 0 for the rest of the time. I'd have to really look at it. I don't think there's really a pitcher that stood out too much. There's 3 hits for Hal Morris seemed to do pretty good. Let's see what he do. 1, 2, 3, and a home run. 4 hits and a home run. 5, 6 hits and a home run. 6 hits, home run. He had about 1, 2, 5 RBIs. I think it is going to be Hal Morris. He hit everything. Single, double, triple, homer. MVP, Hal Morris. Reds win it like they did in real life, but it was 4-0 in real life. It's 4-2 here. Not too bad. You can't expect the A's to get shut out every time. That was kind of an anomaly, I think, in real life, but it happened. So that wraps up the 1990 World Series with Clubhouse Baseball. I do enjoy this game. I'm a little rusty at it, as you can tell. I was having to look some things up, making sure on some things. But once you get the flow of it, it's a nice game. I like it. But that's going to wrap this game up. Until the next game, you guys take care, and God bless.